Hey, Planeswalkers, Mithras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today we got a fun, new, exciting deck. So this one's kind of all the new rage and rave. So pretty excited about this. This is a top 100 deck as well that we'll be checking out. But before we do that, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. You can like the video if you enjoy it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. All right, so what deck do we speak of? Well, my friends, post Omnath ban here, we have Golgari Adventures making waves. So what do we got going on? What does that mean? Well, we'll cover the deck list here. We'll also talk about best of 3 and sideboarding, and then also talk about the individual cards in this deck. But before we go ahead and dive through it here, if you're new, Golgari is the guild that's both black and green, so swamp and forest, and that gives us Golgari. And then Adventures is the key mechanic when it comes to this deck. So primarily what that means is we have Edgewell here, which gives us draw, and then we have cards like Order of the Midnight that have some sort of adventure interaction. So very, very key parts of this deck. It helps you with draw, it helps you do a lot of other mechanics. The primary portion of this coming out of Throne of Eldraine kind of block per se. So, all right, Planeswalkers, this deck list is available for you down below. If you have questions or comments, let me know down there as well. Additionally, there is a link so that you can access and download the deck if you prefer that route instead, or to get the cards kind of a thing. All right. So here's what we got going on within the Golgari Adventures shell. I will come back here and talk about these here in a minute. This was fairly popular again during Throne of Eldraine times, but we have some newcomers between Theros as well as Zendikar Rising that we should talk about here for a moment. So we have Blood Chief's Thirst. So this is a great card from ZNR. Again, destroying target creature or planeswalker, convert mana cost 2 or less, or we can kick it for 4. Additional 3, making it 4 cost at sorcery, again, speed, and take out any creature or planeswalker. So lots of value. We have Fulmir Knight, so a great 1/1 death toucher. We can also draw a card if we need with this guy. Enabler for everyone's favorite Lovestruck Beast as well. We have Edgewell Innkeeper. So we already covered this, but again, that additional draw power with the adventure. Order of Midnight. So this is an interesting pick here. One, it's great in terms of returning target creature cards from our graveyard to our hand, but it wasn't always played quite a bit. So it's nice to see it in this deck. Again, cheap cost, 2 to pull back, 2 to cast. It is a flyer, but it can't block. So it's more of a low-hanging threat, I guess. Then we also have Lotus Cobra in here, so the ability to stack lands and get some ramp going is going to be very powerful in this deck as well. We have Scavenging Ooze, so in particular against Dimir, the ability to exile cards, or great against the Rakdos mid-range decks as well. So you guys have seen me do that with the #1 deck about a week ago, I think. Now you guys can absolutely check out that video. Next we have Murderous Rider. So I love this card, the ability to take down a creature or planeswalker. We lose 2 life, very powerful, but then this guy's got lifelink as well, and then when it dies, we can put it in the bottom of our library. Next, we have Lovestruck Beast, again, creating a 1/1 and then a huge body. Khazandu Mammoth. So this is a wonderful card in terms of landfall. Creates a big body relatively quickly, and then also is a modal land. So if we are lacking a land drop, we have that with Khazandu Valley. Agadeem's Awakening, the ability to pull back a bunch of cards here is extremely powerful, really helpful late game as well. Does take 3 black enabler manas first, but again, it's a good trade-off, and then obviously a modal land. We have Rankle. So Rankle hits, has haste, and we can choose any number of the 3, or a lot of us forget sometimes you don't have to choose something, but my favorite one is probably getting your opponent down to 1 life and then making them lose 1 life and then drawing a card. Then we have Pulkranos Unchained. So this is an extremely powerful card. So it's making a huge comeback right now post Omnath ban. I'm actually surprised that it wasn't played more prior to that as well. But this sucker enters with 6 +1/+1 counters. If damage would be dealt while it has a counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that many 1/1 counters. Now we can fight with this card, and we can use it to come back from our graveyard, and it becomes a 12/12. It's massive. It's huge. So we need to pay attention to that. And this is huge against the decks that are trying to mill you out as well. We have the Great Henge. So again, very, very powerful. The ability to gain life, the ability to draw cards. This is by far one of my favorite cards from Throne. I think many of you've heard me say that before. Again, no modal lands here, but we do have Evolving Wilds and Fabled Passage to trigger some of the landfall things that we do have going on here as well. We are running 20 lands. We add in the modal lands. That gives us a 28. So lots of good situational things there as well. So that's the main board, Planeswalkers. We're going to go ahead and talk about the sideboard here and then how to sideboard. So here's what we got going on. So we got Blood Chief's Thirst. So we already got one of those. Where are we going to play this? You're going to want to play this against decks that are creature-based. So things like mono red, mono green. You're going to want to play this against the wolf green deck. Lots of good places for you here. You could play it against... if you wanted to as well, the mono white enchantments deck that we've done. This is a good one against the rogues decks as well. It's a cheap cast and can hit most of those as well. So really a lot of places that you could play this. You could play this against the Boros Knights versions. You can play this against Winata decks. Lots of good spots. Next we have Duress. I would primarily play this against things like the Azorius Blink deck that we just did. You're going to want to play this against control decks. So again, target opponent's going to reveal their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and then they discard it. This is going to be really good in the Esper decks as well. So, and you could even use this against the Rakdos mid-range type decks to get rid of some of that removal. Lots of good options here. Next, we got Skyclave Shade. So the big part with this one is going to be, again, when you run up against the exile decks, or sorry, the mill decks, you're gonna really be thankful to have this guy in your main board here. I would actually probably just take all 4 of these and dump them right in and run the 60+ version deck. As always, many of you have heard me say that before, but realistically, again, the decks that are trying to mill you is where you're gonna want to run this. So that's Dimmer Mill. That's going to be the Rogue Mill decks. Lots of good spots. If you wanted to, I mean, you could obviously play this instead of or against some of the control decks as well. So the ability to bring this back from your graveyard is going to be pretty helpful, and it doesn't take the exile of your graveyard in escape cost. Wilt. So destroy target artifact or enchantment. You're going to want to play this, in my opinion, against mono green. It's gonna help you with the Great Henge. You could play this against mono red. You're also gonna want to play this against the Esper decks, and the one that I just played in the Azorius. You could play it against the Azorius matchup for the blink, but also the mono blue deck that really leverages the artifacts to help kind of get the combo off as well. So lots of good places that you can play this. A very powerful card still. Questing Beast. I like this again against creature-based decks, even against Planeswalker decks. There are some Jeskai decks starting to pop back up. Yes, I've seen Luca. Yes, I've seen Nahiri. I've seen a lot of things coming back, so we need to pay attention to that. Questing Beast is a great option there. Additionally, if they're running low-hanging creatures, I would also play this as well. It's great against creature-based decks. Next, we got Garruk, Cursed Huntsman. So this card is very powerful. I would play this against creature-based decks again, and I would do this because it gives us a lot of advantage with the 2/2. We get a lot of board control, and we can destroy target creatures, and it's a great finisher once we get to 6. So it moves very fast. And we have a lot of abilities and can really build the board state with this card too. So let's talk a little bit about the sideboarding, or how we would want to sideboard. Obviously, if we look here, what's pretty interesting is it is all creatures in the main minus Blood Chief and minus the Great Henge. So I would keep those things in mind as you kind of play around with the deck. We do have 28 lands. Where I like to cut sometimes is Kazandu Mammoth for a couple reasons, mainly because I don't necessarily like playing a tapped land, and because this one has a low curve, you can really start playing right away as well. So that's one spot that I like to look. And then additionally, if they aren't playing, like we said, creature-based decks, you can take out Blood Chief's Thirst. So those are some good areas that you could consider. You may want to consider a Murderous Rider too if you can't hit anything on the board. Those are a lot of good areas to kind of cut, maybe even in order of midnight. So with that said, that gives us 4 to 8 cards, I would say, roughly. Most of the other stuff I'd probably try and keep together. Again, for the draw, if you can, I would prefer, again, to cut this. You could even go one on Agadeems. I do like keeping these on the top end here. Rankle, just to kind of have a quick closer, another option. I particularly would try and keep Great Henge as well, but those are some spots. Again, like I said, with rogues, I would probably just pop in the 4 Skyclave Shades here, and then maybe even the Duresses and Blood Chief's Thirst, and then just kind of keep everything in there. But that's a personal choice that you kind of need to make. But I have ran that way multiple times in best of 3 and found a lot of success. Guruk and some of the other creature-based stuff here, if we go 4, pretty easy to slot in against some of those cards if you want. You can even drop a Fulmir Knight, 1 or 2 of those. It's just an easy cantrip once you get an Edgewell down to get that draw. So lots of considerations there in terms of creature-based or more control-based decks. Even the mid-range, you're going to want to play around, but we got a lot of good options. Personally, I always like to have something of a nice threat on the high end. We do have a couple here, but this is some good spots where we can switch things around. I would always probably keep at least one of these bad boys in your deck, even if it's not mill, just to take things off the board, and then also if you do get to it, to kind of thin that graveyard and get another option in terms of play. So all right, Planeswalkers, with that said, if you got questions, comments, let me know down below. Always happy to help. Very excited about this deck today that we're going to cover, this top 100 Golgari Adventures deck. And I probably forgot to mention this particular deck is by Sorku, I believe. It's Sorquixe. So congratulations, Sorku, or Source. I'm definitely killing that, but that's how it goes here today. So congrats again on the top 100. I should have mentioned that earlier. And then additionally, link down below and deck list down below, as I previously mentioned. With that said, that is the deck. Those are some key components, what the Golgari Adventures deck is all about. Let's go ahead and play some competitive Magic now, and hop into it. So I'm very, very pumped, as I mentioned, to play this one. Let's see here. We're good there too. Standard ranked. There's the Azorius Jordan blank deck. Make sure you guys go check that out. It's a very, very powerful deck that was top 10. All right, let's see here. Here we go. Top 100 Golgari Adventures, and we were on. This deck has a great high win rate as well. So very, very excited to be hopping into it today. Now, quickly, before we decide whether we're going to keep this hand or not in our best of 1 match against a Mirror just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, go ahead and like it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. All right, Planeswalkers, here we go. Let's keep this. We got a lot of good options here and things that we can do. Ooh, we are playing a Mardu deck. I have been seeing more of these as well. Alright, so I dropped Lotus Cobra over Fulmir here because I can drop Fabled and bring Rankle in. Alright, no interactions on their end. We're gonna go discard a card. Get a draw. Got a Scooze. Discard a card. We're going to drop order. Interesting deck. And there's no life link here. So what do we have? We got 1, 3. We don't have lethal. We can try to draw something here first. And this is... Let's do this, actually. No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put Scooze in, because then I can exile these cards. We'll wait on the stack. We'll see if we can pull it on the stack. I don't know for sure, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, it didn't work. And they actually made all my stuff almost bigger. So let us... So what do we need here? There we go. What do we have here? Not enough yet. Ooh, interesting turnaround in the match. Nonetheless, we'll block here. We'll block here. They might have a combat trick, so we can do that. 7, and that gives us lethal on the other side. Block one more. There you go. Very, very well played. So next choice, we can attack Harmonious Archon if we want. So if we go to... We need to make another creature. He can't block. What do they need here? Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Interesting deck. Absolutely. So I think we need to do this. Okay. Oh, they got it. This is a good match, though. Very, very interesting. We can't hit that either because it's a 6. Wow. Impressive comeback. Absolutely thought we had that. That's what I get for overestimating against this deck. Interesting mardu take. The additional 2 guys made a huge difference, and we did not have a lot of stuff there to deal with the flyers. So that would have been, I would have definitely sideboarded a lot more of the pure kill spells there. That would have been much more beneficial, and we should have maybe kept pressuring, but that is how it goes. Let's go into our second match here. Interesting Mardu deck. I have not seen that one before. Definitely a little bit slower, so that thing against a pure aggro deck would have struggled. We just ran not necessarily the best there. We'll keep this. Alright, so this is the mono green wolf deck here that we will definitely run into. Good old Scooze. We'll keep ours. Just play this one for now. So 4 for the wolf, so I'm going to guess they have it. They'll take Khazad Mammoth off. Would be my guess. There it is. Oh, they didn't. Oh, we'll take it. They screwed up. All right, we will take the win off their misplay. So they misclicked on that, and they should have sacked. And then we would have actually dropped our Scooze and hit both. And then that would have also made them pretty mad. So we'll take that Planeswalker. So 1-1 and best of 1 today. You never know what's going to happen. That is a great example of what could happen there. So let's go ahead and move into... sorry, excuse me here. Let's go ahead and move into our best of 3 match. Apologies there. Let's lock and load. Very, very fun. So 1-1, best of 1. Seen some interesting decks. We got to see some other stuff. Traditional, standard, ranked. Here we go. Golgari Adventures top 100. Running a train here today. As always, Planeswalkers, just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, go ahead and like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay on top of decks like this. All right, we got Christ of Steel. We got all the colors. We'll take this, I think. Zorus to start. Now we got Bant. Still Bant. Oh, there you go. Mr. Teferi.
Ready for a good time. Think fast.
We'll see if they waste it here and pause them. No, they didn't. Got a meaty guy off the bat.
I'll think of something.
So now we get to see what they're going to start discarding. And I'll trade.
Oof, now wait just a minute.
I love the diversity, as I've mentioned multiple times now in the meta game here. There's a lot of new stuff. Ouch, that one hurt. That one hurt.
Time to improvise.
So we're not going to want to kill Teferi until this goes away as well. So we just got to keep that in mind. Otherwise they'll just pull him back. Ooh, Elder.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
So we're going to want those kill spells. We will be doing this. Add a...
Time to improvise.
Lots of good control here. Good deck thinning on their side.
fast.
On the full mirror. Oh man. Creature? No, draw. Yeah, that works too. There we go. Now we can get the Great Henge in. So the problem here is they can use Teferi to shut us down too. So we couldn't do that.
Time to improvise.
They're gonna get us unless we can take Trawler off the board, which is not gonna happen, unfortunately. No, we can keep Rankle. They'll just block them though. Let's see here. Not gonna dig. Let's see if we can put this guy down first. Three, I don't have enough, which is brutal. This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to think about how I board here.
Ideas like seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 7. We'll have it just not enough, I don't think. We'll find out.
I was out of sync.
Doing that to pull stuff back with Agadeem still here. Ooh, let's see. We got a Scooze. What do they have? They got a few things in there. So we can do that. We will absolutely need to pull back there too. I think we're in trouble. We're gonna let him play it out though. What are we at? 20 and 24. We got plenty of time. So what do we have here? Not gonna have lethal. They have enough to tack in with Elder and draw as well. So it's really Trawler, Elder, Gargaroths is what we need. We take those things off the board. It's not really going to do much. So it's a Bant ramp. Big creature deck. Alright, on to our second match of our best of 3. So, what do we want to do? I will take these. I will take these. Destroy enchantments. Questing. And I will take these 2 as well. What do we need to get rid of is the question here. So 71. To one of those. Let's drop. So that gives us 20 still on that. Let's drop another Agadeems. Order's okay. Didn't really help us here. I want to keep the ramp. I need the lethal. Pull a Kurnos. We need the knight. Scooze is alright, so we'll go 1. If we drop the rest, though, we're not going to get a lot of value out of Edgewell. Oh, what do we need here? Tough decision. Tough decision. Let's drop 1 Edgewell. I still don't. Maybe we do Falmir. There we go. We'll do that. Still get some of the draw on the later part of the game. As long as we can trade and take their stuff off and deal damage quickly, we'll be okay. This is not a good starting hand. There we go. It's a little bit better. I feel like the appropriate thing to get rid of is the Great Henge. Dropped Fabled. I feel like Great Henge is the way to go, but I'm going to need that later. Let's see if we can turn this around. I would like to keep that, but I need more mana. Go grab a green. Thin this deck. Ooh, 4. Not what I wanted. Trade. They're gonna go grab blue. At least I think they would. Oh. Now, we could have went up one more and made that a little less casting cost there. But we're still the one short right now. All right, there we go. Oh, man. Make sure they can't play anything out of that graveyard. Whoo! We brought it back. The Scooze doing work for us. Ooh, we're gonna have to bring that guy back. Oh, let's see here. Let's put the other Scooze in. That was nice. That was very nice. What do we want to drop then? Might want to put one of these back in. Drop two of these guys. So we're a little struggling on the land. All right. We are not first though. Let's see if we can bring this back against Christ of Steel. Big, big money. Big, big money. May our lands be great. And nothing else be nice to us. Oh, this is a challenge. I think the right thing is to mulligan, unfortunately. But we do have Wilt. There we go. We'll keep this. I'll drop a Love Struck. Oh boy. Nah, I don't know if that one's much better. They got the Cobra. They got the Cobra. We'll keep that. Blue to Fury. Called it.
If nothing
This
else,
is gonna be painful.
don't worry, I'll think of something.
Painful. Oh, shoot.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
So here comes Elder. Oh, I'm gonna get all their threats. All the threats. So they had a much better opening hand than us both times. We'll see if we can come back. There's Elder. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to kill Teffy first, because what they'll do is they'll just make Elder Gargaroth invulnerable, to be honest, is what they'll do. So we don't particularly have a choice.
Think fast.
Now we still have a few plays, at least. If we can get to Guruk, if we can get there and slam him, there may be a chance. Trawler's gonna be a huge pain. They're gonna draw. There's one land. I don't have enough to get Trawler. I think that's gonna seal the deal for them too, because all they have to do is keep one card in hand. Oh, such a bummer. Such a bummer. Here we go. At least we got this. We can't kill it, so we'll go zeros first.
You're not scared of dogs, are you? We are the apex predators.
Survive for one more turn. Oh! Shoot. Oh, we got him mid-game. Good trade-off. This did not have a good counter to some of these flyers. Trawler's a hard one to get off the board once it hits. Many of us know that. So, all right, Planeswalkers, that wraps up for the day. 1-1, best of 1. 1-2, and best of 3. Great deck nonetheless. Super fun top 100 deck by Sorq. Very excited. Hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's got a lot of interesting mechanics. Very powerful nonetheless. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the Golgari Adventures deck one last time. So Planeswalkers, as I've said, here is the deck list. The deck list is available down below with the link for you as well, so you have access to it right away. Lots and lots of good stuff. We really saw Scooze help us there game 2. Just not enough flying stuff. Obviously can be a problem, and we weren't able to get the early game pressure that we wanted. But with that said, very powerful deck again. So Planeswalkers, enjoy. I think this is great. Additionally, as always, I truly appreciate your support from the deepest of my heart. I do really enjoy doing this for you, and I love hearing your stories. This deck helped me get me to Mythic and all that, so it just makes my day. So why I do this, please feel free to support the channel by subscribing down over there. Additionally, you can like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. Well, Planeswalkers, you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful morning, wherever you are in the world. You take care, you stay safe, enjoy. We'll see you again soon. Stay tuned for more top decks like this coming your way.